Rune Factory and Story of Seasons games have actually had a strange relationship with censorship. In the beginning, lots of the earlier Harvest Moon and Rune Factory games, they would have things like alcohol, they'd have things like rival marriages, characters being really rude, and some slightly risque type things in the games. In recent years, however, both series, they've really toned it down. If you guys were with my channel when I was covering Story of Seasons, it was basically like every week I was like, oh, they're going to be censoring this, or oh, they're going to be changing that, and yeah, they're cutting all the alcohol out of the game. Well, in a strange turn of events, it looks like Guardians of Azuma is actually going to be breaking the trend of the Rune Factory and Story of Seasons games becoming more and more censored, and it's actually going to entail some things that I almost feel like embarrassed to say out loud. So yeah, let's get into the risque things that are going to be in Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. And yeah, one of the lines that I'm gonna have to say in this video, yeah, it's gonna make me blush. So before we get into that, I definitely want to talk about alcohol in the Story of Seasons and Rune Factory games. This is something that was in the first two Harvest Moon games, and it was also in several after that. But in later games, they definitely switched all references to alcohol and just made it juice or coffee or, something like that. Just basically, the last few games have acted like alcohol. It does not exist. But in Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, alcohol is coming back. We have this ESRB list of things that are going to be in the game, and in terms of alcohol, this is what it has to say. The game contains some alcohol content, a ceremony in which players drink sacred sake, several characters with flushed faces drinking alcohol with accompanying dialogue. I'm good, not even tipsy. This could just be some drunken ramblings, and I'm so drunk. So if you've been looking forward to a Rune Factory character saying, I'm so drunk, then yeah, Guardians of Azuma, it's for you. It also says that players can purchase and consume alcoholic beverage from a menu screen. So yeah, the characters are going to get drunk, and you can get drunk as well. But as I was saying in the beginning, that's not all. Even more risque than that. Okay, let's see if I can get through this sentence with a straight face. Okay, I'm going to try my best, y'all. One female character is depicted in a swimsuit that reveals a moderate amount of cleavage and breast jiggling effects. I did it, y'all. I got through that sentence. Yeah, for me, the first part of that sentence is like, okay, there's going to be a character who is in a swimsuit. That's not really all that risque. But yeah, the fact that the game is going to add DOA style physics, like I definitely did not see that one coming. So yeah, this is something that I actually feel like a lot of the early games, they didn't really do that at all. The first Harvest Moon and Harvest Moon 64, Back to Nature, all of those games, like, yeah, they would have characters maybe in their swimsuits on the beach, but nothing was like overly risque. Maybe you guys can let me know if there was a Story of Seasons game or a Harvest Moon game that you thought was actually a little bit risque in terms of the character wearing something really revealing. But for me personally, I can't think of any game that had something where I was like, ooh, I don't know if she should be wearing that. And then finally, there's one other risque thing that is in this game, and that is that the word a-hole appears in the game. So yeah, one of the characters in this game is definitely going to be a potty mouth. You may be wondering why this game is actually bucking the trend of the game starting out a little bit risque and then becoming more and more censored. Well, it could have something to do with the restructuring of the American side of the localization team. If you follow the series very closely, you'll know that several different people have been in charge of translating the games, and there's actually just a new restructuring just last year. And in that video where I talked about it, I did kind of wonder if it would mean anything for the series. And actually at that time, I was like, it could, but I'm kind of doubtful because it's still the same company. It's just like a restructuring. But actually, it seems like a lot has been changing. We're getting worldwide releases instead of a release in Japan first and then a huge delay before we get the localization. We're actually going to get them all at the same time. And as we've seen from Guardians of Azuma, it looks like the game is going to be a little bit more mature than a lot of the previous games. This game is going to be rated T for teen, and yeah, it's going to have some language, mild suggestive themes, and use of alcohol. So you guys are going to have to let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about these recent developments? Do you think it's good, or do you think it's bad? I can probably already guess that I feel like most of you guys are going to be like, H, yes. I do kind of feel like farming sims, they've been around for well over 20 years now. So there definitely are a lot of older farming sim fans. And for me personally, I'm glad that we're getting games that they're not just trying to play it super safe. And on that note, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.